Dori, this is November 16, 2019 lesson. Posture is great. You know, we went over before we started recording the grip, and some minor grip changes will help your swing. Now, it's going to feel awkward, but your gloves are marked, so you can get in every time. You can legally play with those marked up gloves, so you have guideposts of how that grip should be. So, and I explained that the swing plane starts out with a line that's right on the shaft at address, the shaft angle at address. Now, the swing plane can be along any of these lines, and it doesn't have to be on exactly one of the yellow lines, but it has to be parallel to the yellow line. So great posture, like the flex in the knees, hands are nicely under the shoulders, chin is up, so your eye line is here. That's been flat back. That's really good posture. So we like that, and you know the alignment is good too. So all looks good. So here. We'll put it to music and see what it looks like. So here's the takeaway. So it gets to here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you can't see it, it's a blur, but the shaft is about here, and the face angle is a little shut.
Mm-hmm.
And what, you know, so this is the start of most of the problems that the average golfer has, is the first 2 foot of the swing.
Okay.
See how the shaft is coming out of the monitor for Scott, and see how at this point we you know, position 1 is addressed, P1 is addressed. This is P2. Position, but see how the toe of the club's up and the shaft is parallel to his toe line or right over his toe line. Your shaft is over here. So that's where it should be. So it's out of position by maybe a foot, foot and a half.
Okay.
Now at some point it's got to get back a foot and a half. Now the problem with being off plane is sometimes it may be a foot and a half back, maybe it's only a foot back. So you don't know what precisely it is. If you take it here, you know it's there precisely every time. Okay. And then same thing with the compensating movement. It's out of place by a foot and a half. Maybe the compensating move only moves it back to 10 inches. You know what I mean? So if you get close to the swing plane, then you don't have to worry about the adjustment. So then what we do, Dori, is we give you a photo of this. And so you print it out and put it on the mirror, and so you just get in that position. So I will save this off. Take away. Okay. So now from here on, we're just going to show you refinements in the swing. Realize that you have an athletic swing. There's more things right with your swing than wrong. We're just going to identify things to refine, to make you more consistent. Because when everything's lined up and the compensating airs, wind up, you hit the ball as well as anybody. But you can only do that 1 out of 10 times or 1 out of 15. We need 8 out of 10 times. Yeah. So we don't need to manufacture at this point any more power, just more consistency by less movement.
So with this, real quick.
Yeah.
You can see both hands at this point.
Yep. The hand position's fine, except you drug the club face back, and you got a little shut. Okay. So we'll go on, but don't panic because we're going to identify 2 or 3 things that need to be refined. But we're going to backtrack to this is the first thing that went wrong, so we're going to fix that first. Okay. So you're off plane by 90 degrees.
Yeah.
But good athlete, look, See what the shaft? Right on plane, right? It's parallel to the yellow line. So it's right on plane. But you had to work hard to get there. You had to drag it a foot and a half off.
To come back.
Exactly. Now what happens to most of us, that, you know, and I'm a classic example of dragging it inside, is we get it on plane, but we overcook, and then we get off plane the other way. So watch what happens. So now it was on plane, and see how it's getting off plane again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, so this top position. Now watch his club, all on plane, and even at the top.
Wow. Yeah.
His left arm's on plane. You got that pretty good. His shaft is on plane.
Mm-hmm. And mine?
Across, and we'll tell you what's wrong with that. So now, and then watch what as he comes down. All he does coming down is he just gets the butt of the club going right down the plane. Mm-hmm. So he's going back on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
He's all on plane, and then down on the plane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're going off plane, on plane, off plane, and then.
Oh my. Oh yeah.
See. That's what video shows you. It's the I worked with the largest Indian. He called it sheet. It's an sheet moment.
Oh really?
When you have that. But, okay, so, but, yeah, you can identify, and that's called throwing the club in your hand if they're trying to save it. But it all starts with, believe it or not, this position. So I'll capture this position. See how the butt of the club here is pointed out behind you. The butt of the club for him, if you extend the target line, it's pointed out here. So this is called across the line. And I'll give you a copy of this too. Okay. Now, this may seem complicated, but I'll show you it really isn't. All we do is we put things in your club that show you, and use the mirror, show you what being on plane is like, and it's easier than it sounds. Trust me. Okay. So here's the problem with you cross the line. So you're across the line. So if you don't do anything else, if you just try to swing, it comes down steep like this. Yeah. And if you don't lift and flip, you're going to stick a fork in the ground right behind the ball. Yeah. If for some reason you save it with your hand, this steep thing, the ball is going to go left and more left. And then what happens is, so we're steep, it's going left, your body goes, I wasn't back in the fairway. So what we do is we manufacture a slice that takes the ball going left and kind of slices it back in the fairway. So this steepness is a death move, and we try to save it by lifting and flipping. So now, here's your sheet moment. Watch your hands. So there's a hand path also, and watch your hands come down. You're throwing it. See your hands. Your hands have gone towards the ball. Look at his hands. His hands are here. When he gets his hands shoulder height. His hands are here. You're out here. Now you're gonna swipe at it. And watch. And here's the telltale sign. When you come down, this is going to go left. Now, because here's the magical moment right here. When he gets to this position, that shaft is right on his forearm. Here's your shaft. So you can only pull this thing and slice it. You can't draw it. You can't do anything with it. You're just trying to save it. See this blur of the club hand? Okay.
You need some glow paint on the glove.
Well, it's just the lighting, you know, if you do it out. Okay, so here's the deal. You've got everything out here.
Yeah.
Now, with the clubs out here, how can you hit it straight? You can't.
Yeah.
The only way you can hit it is come along this way and pray that you can open up the club face and slice it back. When you drop it in, so you can keep your hands on playing here and then back here. Now, when it comes from the inside, it's either going to go straight or right. So, and that's what all the good guys do. They get it in here, like this. So, let me finish this and we'll go outside and I'll show you what that plane looks like. Okay, so, but having said this, there's a lot of good things with the swing. Look at this foot action. That's really good. You're clearing your hips. That's really good. It's almost impossible when you come down shallow. So you have components of the swing that are fine. You just have to work so hard. And look, you're even keeping the back left hip pocket close to the wall. Most people that are steep are going like this, and we don't have a chance.
So chicken wing on the other side.
Oh, well, look, so what I'm pointing out is you have elements of really good swing. The non-plane issue is sinking the ship. Okay, so then you follow through and look, you come through. That's a pretty good spine angle. That's also a good thing, and then you just come up too steep and try to save it. But look at this. That's really good. I mean, what's your handicap, 30 or something? No 30 handicap has lower body movement like that. That's really good, Dori. But except you're having to work so hard to use it. Once we get you on plane, then, you know, we can take advantage of this nice lower body action which you have. But coming in steep with your hands out here and the club head out here, it's just trouble. So here's the thing at the top, and we're not going to work on it today. And I gave you a picture. We want to look more like Adam Scott. So that's another thing you can pose on. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we'll do that when I finish recording here live. Okay, so that's the whole swing. Yeah. More elements of good than bad. There's like 2 or 3 things we need to refine. And now let's look from the other aspect. There should be no surprises, but let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's happening with the body turn here. You can kind of see your grip. See that V is over here?
Yeah.
And that V is over here, so your hands are working kind of against each other as opposed to, if you follow those marks, those V's you'll be easier to set the wrist and everything else will be working in concert. Okay, so let's see what this looks like, Dori. I like it. Look, so you can hardly see the top of your head, so your chin's up out of the way. That's excellent. Most 32 handicaps, chin's buried. So again, that's another element that you don't have to worry about. So here's the takeaway. So the club's moving quite a ways and the shoulders really haven't done much. Now they started to turn.
Mostly arms.
Mostly arms, not now. Okay, so now you're out of the barrel. So that's called a sway. So, let me stop recording. Okay, so that's a sway, and then you have to sway back the right amount, which you do fine job. And let's do this. This is really good action, except you got this thing going. Yeah. Even with that, you come in here. A 30 handicap does not have that lower body action. I'm telling you. A 15 handicap doesn't have that action. And you release the right side. So you got a little. You got a little
Yeah.
chicken wing in here,
Yeah.
but mostly because you haven't cleared your hips. If you clear your hips,
Now I can get
you can get to, you know, it's a tug of war position where on the swing it's like somebody's pulling the tug of war.
Yeah.
You're like kind of this because your hips in the way. So, okay, let me save this off.